where is this person gonna come in and just be like, hey, here's the keys to the kingdom of gold? But there's no kingdom of gold. The kingdom of gold is inside you. Caring about my music, it was just the fact that they cared about music enough. Always like coming back to music, don't do music. Coming back to music, don't do music. Music sucks. Music doesn't suck. And living in a life of fear of waiting for this and that, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Pretty much sell your soul so that you could freaking make music for the rest of your life. Now, I'm not gonna say his name because I genuinely have love for the person who he is, the art that he makes. If it didn't happen at this time, it was meant not to happen at this time. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those moments. Genuine love. Like, I was so excited to go to this concert, see the evolution, hear the new album in person. 2 songs planned to drop for every single month until November of 2026. Everything was lining up. I could do it. I can make this possible. Complete separate folder for him and his team. I have a crazy sexy drill tape. Perfect. Like, what else could I do to set up for success here? Hey guys, it's Maven Carr, and welcome back to the Gentle Giant Podcast. Welcome to episode 6, Chasing the Devil. I don't really mean chasing the devil, but I kind of do at the same time. This episode is talking about my journey through the music industry and where it's led me. This will have kind of a similar tale to episode 4, I believe, with Heaven's Descent. It is talking about some of those experiences I've had with certain artists and industry people or whatever it is. But the main conceptualization of the story is I was chasing the devil. I was chasing this want or need to be a certain level of an artist. And I hate to say it like this because I said on the first episode I would never want to be a signed artist, but I was chasing to be a signed artist. And that's the reason why I stated I'd never be a signed artist, is because I realized I was chasing the devil. I was chasing something that wasn't me. I was chasing something that I had envisioned for myself, put on a higher pedestal, and told myself that I needed to work for that goal. And that was the whole reason I could never get it, is because it was on a pedestal and I told myself I had to work for it. I told myself that even if I knew I was going to be it, I wasn't it now. And I think that was one of the first mistakes I made throughout that whole process, was completely just telling myself over and over again, hey, I need to do more, be more, act different, whatever, when I did to fit the narrative of what a record label wanted, or people wanted from the media, or even my friends and family saying, oh, do this for your videos, or do this for your songs, or do this and that, and use less autotune. And it was just constantly like, I want to negotiate with this person, I want to negotiate with this person to see how far I can go. And it was just like waiting for that opportunity. Like I said the first episode, where it's like, where is this person gonna come in and just be like, hey, here's the keys to the kingdom of gold? But there's no kingdom of gold. The kingdom of gold is inside you. But I figured that out later. But that's not the point. The point is chasing that signature, chasing that imaginary person that's gonna fly in and be like, here's a buttload of money and go make music. Because at one point I had even realized the whole scheme of record labels and being like, it's just a bank, you know, they're gonna hold you over. And I was just like, I don't care, as long as I get to make my music and do whatever I want. And I was so intrigued by just the fact of being in a studio, having people who actually care about the music. It wasn't even, bro, I hate to say it was like this, but it wasn't even to the fact of caring about my music. It was just the fact that they cared about music enough that they would help me with my music. You know, it really got to that point of stretching so thin and so far to figure out if I could even do this and be this person I wanted to be. And there was a lot of experiences that I had that, like, you know, swayed me off of feeling like this would ever happen. And it had put me in a dark spot every single time, because, mind you, is what I wanted. I wanted to be signed. I wanted to have that golden arc of redemption, or whatever the heck you want to call it. And I just never got it. I was constantly just like searching. Things would throw me off. And instead of me saying, okay, well, this is a sign for me to stop or look at it in a different way, I was just like, no, I got to try harder. I mean, I definitely looked at it a different way. I was trying to market myself differently, do different strategies. Like I said, Heaven's Descent was just not a ploy, but a ploy to get my name to be extensive, because I knew what I wanted to do in the world to an extent as well. I just found myself like lost, bro. Like always like coming back to music, don't do music. Coming back to music, don't do music. Music sucks. Music doesn't suck. And it just hurt. It just hurt my heart. It hurt my brain, just constantly fighting things. And, you know, not having the money to live that lifestyle that was needed to get the attention of people in that way. And, you know, not to talk about Satanism, because it's just a crazy topic, but talking about the devil is all the sin and all the stuff that goes around it. And The person I was trying to be is a Satanist. I'm not gonna lie. It's a person who is covered with all these money things and all the materialistic things and trying to be certain level of success and living in a life of fear of waiting for this and that. I just couldn't deal with it anymore, and it wasn't me. And I realized that I can make music without having to be that and finding success, because in my head there's only two things happening. One, everyone told me you can make music for yourself in your basement and enjoy it for yourself and, you know, live life. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be telling people and showing people how to live life through my music. So that's not really gonna work for me by just making music for myself and putting it in my headphones and my speakers every day, because I'd still be depressed, because that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. That's not my sole mission. You know what I'm trying to say? Or the other side of it be pretty much sell your soul so that you could freaking make music for the rest of your life. There was no in between, and I was always trying to, you know, say like there was a little bit of an in between where like the record label would sign me and I'd be able to express myself and, you know, even like manipulate them to understand where I'm coming from and try to put that in my agenda. And bullshit. It was just all bullshit, bro. There was like no in between at all, and I was just constantly depressed. Like, it was straight to the point. I was constantly depressed, trying to figure out how I can make music a real thing in this world, in this reality. So let's get to the nitty gritty of the experience of chasing the devil. I have a very, very small list of artists that I thoroughly enjoy their music. Like, would listen to their music almost every day. Still would listen to their music almost every day. And this list, maybe 10 to 12 artists, And as I've grown up, it's funny how certain artists that are newer, people who haven't been making music as much, completely just jump onto that list, because, you know, the new ideas and thoughts they have are so sporadic and powerful, right? And I did have this person in my mind who I'm talking about right now, and I'm not gonna say his name because I genuinely have love for the person who he is, the art that he makes, and there's no reason to do any like name calling, whatever it is, okay? I genuinely loved his music, and I wanted to work with him in whatever reciprocity there was, even if it was just to have a conversation with him on this podcast. Like, serious to God, like, bro, it was starting back from the Heavens Descent days when I was like, yo, can I just have an interview with you? Can I do anything with you, please? I didn't even ask to do work with my music, because at the time when I first met him, which was about a year and 2 months ago now, or February 2024, I went to his show for the first time, and I had a conversation with him. Like, bro, I was the only person to take a picture with him in the concert place. I was probably one of the only people to talk to him outside the venue before like his whole crew surrounded him. I was having a conversation, chopping him up, talking about how much he did for me, and I was wondering if he could work with me. And I Instagram DM him, nothing came back. I honestly didn't think much of it, because I was like, you know what, I really don't have much going for me. I'm really in the struggle phase. Like, not to say like that now is considered the struggle phase to a lot of people from what I'm doing, but I got it like that. Like, I'm chilling, I'm living, I know what the fuck I'm doing. There's no question behind my mind other than staying consistent and staying deemed to my path. Before, I was confused. I was just trying to pull at straws and figure out where I could go and to make this possibility happen. So I understood in my mind's eye, like, if it didn't happen at this time, it was meant not to happen at this time. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those moments. Flash forward to literally 2-3 months ago, and he has another show. He's not blowing up, but he's doing well for himself now. And I literally was posting on my Instagram story, posting on my TikTok, and it was just genuine love. Like, I was so excited to go to this concert, see the evolution, hear the new album in person, etc. And then I took it upon myself to be like, I think today's the day. Today's the day that everything changes. And mind you, I had already started a different evolution. This is around the time that I'm making the Maven strategy as a marketing component. This is before the tarot business really blows up, okay? Just like literally right before, like a week before. It's so crazy how things line up, but a week before. I'm thinking, okay, I have almost 2 songs planned to drop for every single month until November of 2026. You guys understand how many songs that is? That's almost like 36 songs, completely polished, ready to go, dated out, knew when they were gonna drop. I was planned, I was set. Everything that needed to get done was just music videos and marketing at that point. Like, I'm being so serious with you guys. You could have the whole album too. All the songs. I don't care anymore at this point. Like, they're okay because of this experience. Because they're just my old self. That's the truth of it. They're my old self. And I felt like I was ready. I was ready to take the next steps. Even if I didn't get to work with this individual, if I got to get noticed by his team or his producer, because he's been posting on his story about wanting to open up to new artists or whatever, it was just like everything was lining up. I could do it. I can make this possible. This is where things get a little weird and crazy. I took it upon myself to create that next level of success and confidence for me, which I am grateful that I did either way. I created an EPK, part of my website. It's specific domain to specific people, hopefully like publishers, different artists that want to experience Maven music in what I'm doing now, like the more behind the scenes kind of stuff. And I created a whole website. Mind you, it's just to work with this guy. I knew I had to do this eventually in my career. Like, I knew I had to, but I only did it in this moment at this time. I stressed out for literally 6 hours before having to leave. Like, the day before, I'm stressing out, trying to fix up my whole website, a completely different page, a back page for it. And I create a whole website, an EPK. It looks professional. It's creating a whole story behind my brand, myself. It has all my unreleased music, the timelines, the dates of everything, whatever it may be. And then on top of that, I go into my Google Drive and I make a complete separate folder for him and his team. In this folder is music that, one, represents music he's making because he inspired me to make that music. Two, the same genre of music, but in my own creations. Like, bro, when I tell you I have it's Slizzy tapes. You guys know Sexy Drill? Bro, Sexy Drill. I have a crazy Sexy Drill tape. And I'm not talking about like some Cash Cobain, we're having fun Nah, I'm sorry. I don't care about that. This is like an R&B Sexy Drill vibe. I'm talking about like kind of like going through a breakup kind of vibe thing, but it's Sexy Drill. And it's just the best album possible, bro. I've been holding it in since that first concert. Since that first concert, I've had it, just waiting for him and to experience that with him because his producer produced half the album. I'm waiting to work with him. Like, it's so insane to me how that was working out, right? So I put pieces of that album. I put pieces of the music that represented similar sounds to him. I put my own music, and I even put 3 opens. I was like, this is music that I'm making now that you could sit in, please. 3 opens. One was completely the type of my music. One was a little bit of like a mix of our type of music, and one was his music. And it was just like perfect. Like, what else could I do to set up for success here? Oh, I'll just do more. This is what I did. I took myself and made notes. I literally made a letter to the artist. I made a letter to the artist's team, and I made a letter to the producer, and I made a letter to the manager. All 4 letters are in this drive, put into the drive. And he has this one song on his album that is named after a game, a PlayStation game that I actually played as a young kid, and I love the game, bro. I love this game. I'm gonna tell you this straight up. I love this game. So I found the game, I put it in a CD case, and I was like, I'm gonna give this to him. Attached to it is gonna be taped another letter specifically for him, another one explaining what this is, who I am, and where I want to be with him. And there's a QR code. There's a flash drive even taped up to it too. So there's two ways that he can like figure out everything. Find the link to the Google Drive. He can see all the letters. Bro, when I tell you, I went to the concert. Fuck that. I lied. I went to a concert a week before that concert, trying to do the same thing, and he wasn't there. The whole party got shut down. Complete mess up. Cops came. I literally was outside the door. I was the next person to walk into the party, bro. They're like, yeah, we're done, get out. Like, dude, I swear to God, I was dapping up the security guard. The security guard was talking to me while we're waiting for the cops to figure out what to do. Like, I'm just chilling, waiting. That shit did not work out. So then next week, I'm going to another concert. I'm like, all right, I'm about to pay for this concert to go here. So I go there. I'm literally doing anything, bro. The DJ's like, yo, can we get water up here? Like, the second I walk in, I'm like, yeah, it's my cue. Take 2 glasses of water from the bar, walk all the way up. I'm like, yeah, I'm not working here, but I do music. Here's my card. Like, I was working, bro, that night. I was trying. Dude, wait, I'm gonna bleep that out later. Whoever came onto the stage, and it was just electric. I felt it. I recorded the whole thing, was like, yeah, I want this for myself. I could post this up because I'm actually just genuinely inspired by this character, you know what I mean? And he came through, and I gave the CD to his manager. His manager's like, whoa, he's showing the person. We all dap up, we're cool. I'm thinking like, shit is golden, bro. We're having a conversation after. He says, everyone's saying DM me, let's get to work. I get no responses, bro. I get left not even on scene. Like, I was just gone in the wind. And it just made me realize a lot of shit. And I want to put to the thought process of like thinking, well, did I just do it for that, initial leverage in, or to push myself through that little barrier there? And no, I didn't do that, because it was out of genuine inspiration for the person. And I think that's why it triggered me so hard to be like, even out of pure love, even out of true inspiration, true like passion of music, it's not enough. It's not enough to go all the way out there to show these people the devil people, that you're a true soul. Like, it's not enough. It's never enough, man. Like, I was literally going back end, giving my whole life story 20 times over. I was working, and yeah, I might have looked desperate, but for me personally, it was showing them like, yo, this is what I want. I want to work with you. There's no other person I've been trying to work with, bro. Like, dead ass. I haven't gone to anyone else's concert. If you ask any of my ex-girlfriends, bro, they'll tell you Maven does not pay for concerts. He's told every single person, I don't pay for concerts, because I think I'm gonna get into every concert for free one day, because I'm a $1 million artist. Like, that's the truth. That's the reason why I never have paid for a ticket. I got the Playboy Cardi for free. I got Post Malone for free. I got Drake for free. Actually, no, not Drake. What's the Gov Ball thing over here in New York? I got that shit for free. And I just never paid. But the only person I paid for was this guy. This one person. So it's just like, even when it comes to like pure love and pure want to collaborate and just to conversate with the guy, it didn't matter. And that's when I realized I was chasing the devil. And it started a spark of revolution and evolution, as I say. I deleted almost all my music. We're talking about 300, 400 files of music. 300, 400 files of music. I deleted almost all my pages. I rebranded everything again. I stepped into more of a spiritual path. I realized that that's where my music really needs to go. It doesn't have to do anything about the material or what I'm trying to be. It's about who I am. And I'm just over chasing the devil, man. And shout out to you, the artist that you are, because I still listen to your music. You're still freaking fire. I still understand what your concepts are to make me involve. But thank you, because you have sent me on the trajectory I need to. That created this podcast. That's made me so happy, made me invest into so many things. All I can say is thank you, bro. Thank you for really like ruining my perspective of being an artist and making me so much happier with this version of the artist I am. I want you guys to think today, what is a time where you've been so stuck in a perspective that if you were to think about it just one little way, and I asked this the first episode too, one little way, one little change of a perspective, what would your life look like? Because it really is true. That one little change could do so much for you. So much for you. This is Maven Carr, and I thank you guys so much for being here on the Gentle Giant podcast. This was episode 6, Chasing the Devil. Thank you.